Lockout and tagout. Power sources: electrical, hydraulic, pneumatic, steam, mechanical, potential, gravity. What is lockout and tagout? Procedure for a safe shutdown and restart of equipment that is serviced or maintained, protects employees who service and maintain equipment, warns employees of the shutdown. LOTO prevents equipment from unexpectedly starting up, co-workers from restarting equipment, injury, and death during servicing or maintenance of equipment. Leading causes of injuries: failure to shut off equipment, failure to disconnect from power source, unexpected. Restarting of equipment. Failure to clear work area before restarting. Definitions: authorized employee, an employee who performs servicing and maintenance on machines and equipment. Identify all energy sources, inform others of lockout and tagout in progress, follow the lockout and tagout procedures. Affected employee, an employee who performs the duties of his job in an area in which lockout is implemented, and servicing and maintenance operations are performed. However, the employee does not perform the servicing and maintenance on machines and equipment. Operate or use equipment, understand all lockout and tagout procedures. Never remove locks or tags, never restart equipment with lock or tag. Other employees are not authorized or affected employees must be able to identify locks and tags, must be aware of lockout and tagout procedures, never remove a lock or tag, never restart equipment with lock and tag. Energized. Equipment is energized when it is connected to an energy source, or it contains residual or stored energy. Energy isolating device. Any mechanical device that physically prevents the release or transmission of energy. Energy source. Any source of electrical, mechanical, hydraulic, pneumatic, chemical, thermal, or other energy. Minor tool changes and adjustments performed during normal production operations, and they are routine, repetitive, and integral to the use of production equipment, are not covered by the standard. Alternate measures of effective employee protection must be in place. Employer must provide effective protection for employees in power-on, troubleshooting conditions. However, if the power is off, then a lockout procedure is required. Cords and plugs. If both of the following conditions are met, then the lockout and tagout standard does not apply to servicing and maintaining cord and plug-connected equipment. Hazardous energy sources must be controlled by unplugging the equipment from the energy source. The plug must be under the exclusive control of the employee performing the servicing and maintenance. 6 steps to performing lockout and tagout safely. Step 1. Prepare for shutdown. Step 2. Shut down equipment. Step 3. Disconnect power source using an energy isolating device. Step 4. Apply lockout and tagout devices, only applied by authorized employees. Locks power source in off position. Locks must be used if equipment is capable of being locked out. If locks cannot be used, tags must be used. Standardized. Identifiable. Durable, not used for other purposes. Limitation of tags, only a warning device. Equipment can still be started up, false sense of security. Step 5. Release stored energy. Step 6. Verify machine is safe. Lockout procedure. 1. Lockout of equipment will only be carried out by authorized employees. 2. Notify all affected employees that a lockout of machinery will be taking place. 3. De-energize equipment using the written equipment-specific procedures. 4. Lock out the energy source in a position that will prevent further operation of the equipment, and will hold the energy isolating device in an off position. 5. Each employee involved in the lockout will place their own lockout device on each energy isolating device. 6. The lockout device will be fitted with a tag describing who placed the lock on the machinery. 7. The lockout device key will remain in the possession of the employee locking out the affected equipment. 8. All potentially hazardous stored or residual energy, air or water pressure, hydraulic systems, etc., must be disconnected, reduced, or rendered safe, including gravity. 9. Prior to servicing and maintenance on the affected machinery, the lockout integrity must be verified. A. Clear all employees from the affected equipment. B. Attempt to operate the affected equipment using established startup procedures. C. Return the affected equipment to the off position after performing the lockout integrity test. D. Make any adjustments necessary and re-evaluate the lockout integrity. 10. To restart or test the affected equipment, the following steps to be followed. A. Visually inspect the servicing and maintenance areas to ensure that all tools, materials, and personnel are free from the machinery. B. Remove all lockout devices and energize the affected equipment. Never remove another employee's lock. C. Warn all personnel and verify area clear. D. Verify that the affected equipment is operating correctly. E. If the affected equipment is not operating correctly, then de-energize the equipment and ensure that all lockout devices were removed. F. To continue servicing and maintenance on the affected equipment, the authorized employee must conduct a new lockout procedure. Tag out. When the energy supply cannot be locked out, the employer must use a tag-out procedure. Investigate if, in the facility's best interest, you want to modify or replace the device to make it capable of being locked out. If a tag-out is used, then the employer must follow all tag-out related provisions. The employer must provide additional training on the limitations of using a tag. Tags are only warning devices and do not provide the physical restraint of a lock. When a tag is attached to an energy supply, it is not to be removed except by the person who applied it, and it is never to be bypassed, ignored, or otherwise defeated. Tags must be legible and understandable by all employees. Bilingual, multilingual tags and their means of attachment must be made of materials that will withstand the environmental conditions encountered in the workplace. Tags must be securely attached to the energy isolating device so that they cannot be detached accidentally during use. Group lockout. Group lockout device used when more than one person services the equipment. Each employee has own lock or tag, one primary employee responsible removing another employee's lock or tag. If a lock or tag needs to be removed and the employee cannot be found, verify employee is not in facility. Make reasonable effort to contact employee. Detailed and exacting procedure. Tell employee about removal. Requirements for a lockout device. Durability. Lockout devices must withstand the environment to which they are exposed for the maximum duration of exposure. Standard. Lockout devices must be standardized according to either color, shape, or size. Substantial. Lockout devices must be substantial enough to minimize early or accidental removal. Locks must be substantial to prevent removal except by excessive force of special tools such as bolt cutters or other metal cutting tools. Identifiable. A lock must clearly identify the employee who applied it. Devices, locks, steering wheel, hasps, multi-breaker cable, circuit breaker clamps, lockout kits, switch lockout covers, lockout stations. Valve lockout devices, bi- and multilingual, tags, signs, pneumatic, hydraulic, hoist, aviation. Locks, breaker, and switch. Plug, button pneumatic. Hasp, hoist, valve. Lock station, tags, signs. Special situations. For group lockout operations, each authorized employee must attach a personal lockout device to the group device with the servicing and maintenance coordinated by one designated employee. This designated employee is always the last to remove his lock. Should the hasp not have enough holes for the required number of locks, insert a second hasp into the last hole, and install additional locks on the second hasp. If servicing and maintenance will for extended periods or across shifts, then the original lockout must be removed by the employees who installed it, and the incoming shift employees must complete a lockout from the initial step to ensure continuity. Outside contractors. On-site employer must inform each other of their respective energy control programs. Each employer must ensure that his personnel comply with the other employer's energy control program. The on-site controlling employer might consider training the contractor's employees to the site's LOTO program, furnish the locks and devices, and all employees follow the site's program and policies. Periodic audits. Periodically, at least annually, the safety director or general manager will assist supervisors and foremen with an audit of the lockout and tagout program. Employees who utilize the energy control procedures cannot be included in the audit team. The periodic audit will be used to correct any anomalies or inadequacies in the lockout and tagout program, and ensure employees are following energy control procedures. The periodic audit shall include an interview with the employees utilizing the lockout and tagout program and energy control procedures, and their responsibilities.